What up, my podcast people? Welcome back, friends, to episode 3, where we will be discussing all things mental health and identity today. We are your hosts, Chandra,
Courtney,
Chelsea.
Okay, that was a rocky start. Sorry about that. Today we're going to just be addressing like mom burnout, self-care, things that are actually realistic for us to do to be able to kind of step out of that mom moment and things just to normalize like we're tired. And that's really never going to change. It's a mental load. It's an emotional load. Physically.
It's all the loads.
It's
all of them.
All of them.
All combined.
All of the loads.
Physical exhaustion just from being a caremaker and making all the decisions.
Yeah, it's tough out here in these streets.
It's hard not to, like, you're going to display that in your family by your actions. Like, you're going to snap. You're going to be
oh my gosh,
just like lack of energy.
Yeah.
Zoned out.
I can definitely tell on those rough weeks where you're literally
you want to tap
surviving. 100%. Somebody else, come do this. Because like you said, you start snapping at your kids, you start snapping at your husband. You just feel bad. Yeah. I don't know how else to describe it.
And then it makes you feel guilty. It makes you feel bad. It makes you feel like you're failing. Like just all of that. And I don't really know if it's avoidable unless you have this picture perfect, stress-free life where kids don't act like kids.
Wow. Somebody... Any of y'all out there? Because I haven't met one yet.
Yeah.
It's tough. And realistically, like, self-care in my eyes, although I would love to get an hour massage. Sign me up, baby. You want to buy me one?
Hey, we should do that.
Hey, we should actually.
We should
yeah,
have
you
a
know
mom's
what?
day out.
Yeah, we should. Anyways, as much as I'd love to have, like, those really deep self-care moments, that's just not realistic most of the time. So to me, sometimes I literally will just walk outside my house and walk through our little subdivision. And that's like my reset time.
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, it's not extravagant by any means, but it's just a second to kind of gather yourself after a really long day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just sitting in the silence and just actually having a moment to feel the emotions and to
Oh my gosh,
process.
the amount of times that I drive home in my car or wherever really and just silence all the time.
Can you hear me? Okay. Sorry. I just had to check here because I have one on. My earring hurts in this one. So I kind of hear you guys and I kind of don't. That's my fault. Continue.
Ordering takeout, picking up a book. Like,
I'd love to pick up a book, but
I want to be a reader.
I do. I've had this book for a long time that I just have not yet to pick
I just
up.
don't give my
I
time.
have so many books to go through. When our grandma passed away, like, I inherited all of her books, and I bought
like a literal library.
a library. She would get every hard copy, like signed, unsigned. Like, she had to have the hard copy, which is how I am. I can't do
love
ebooks.
the hard copies.
Like, I cannot. Do
I would
it.
love to be a Kindle person. Isn't that what they're called?
Yes, and I would love that.
to. But I think the physical flipping of the page and having it in your hand versus just like a tablet.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like a tablet would be really convenient on airplane rides and stuff,
Yes.
but
Well,
how often do you do
academically, I
that?
could like remember the page, so I'd always want to like flip back and like know where to reference back to, or I remember the picture, just photographic memory. And so ebook, it's like, oh, what was the page number? You know,
Right.
Couldn't flip back and forth, but that's a big self-care opportunity, is just sitting and reading or pulling out your journal, reading, you know, your favorite scripture, like anything, pulling it out.
really,
To relate to that.
I've been really lacking on my time with Jesus because I remember specifically there was a time that I was so good at prioritizing that time with him, reading the Bible, doing my little Bible study. And I remember just being a better self. Like I was happier. Things didn't get to me as bad. My patience was higher. And now my life is very chaotic when I don't prioritize that. And I get in my feels with that. So we won't go too far because, I mean, he died for us. And I'm sitting here being like, well, I got to get the laundry done before I go to bed versus spending time with Jesus. You know what I mean?
I was going to say that this isn't really self-care, but to me, it helps my brain fog. It helps me just disconnect. But like, I might leave our son at daycare longer for the day if I get off, say I get off at 2 and he has to be picked up by 5, but I can never leave him there that long because Mom guilt.
And it's okay if you do.
I know.
A little extra time.
I know, but
Yes.
mom guilt. So I will go home and just get anything done that I want to get done. Yes, it's house chores, but that makes me feel like a better person when I get
That's how I am.
undivided time to do what I want to do and get what I need to get done.
And it's almost a little therapeutic when you clean your house. I hate cleaning. I hate it. If
I think we hate starting it.
if I
But
can
checking
hire somebody
those things
someday,
off the list. So,
Feels so
I am
good.
if I did it, I will add it to the list just so I can check it off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me
It feels so
too.
much better. Like this whole night routine that they have going on TikTok right now, I'm a sucker for it. I actually love a good night routine because if you walk out in the morning and your stuff's already done, dude, I don't know. It gives me shot.
Like my
Makes
self
me
care is
feel
making
good.
sure the kitchen's clean before I go to bed.
Oh, 100%.
And I will
yeah.
vacuum. And my husband's like, babe, everybody's asleep. I'm like, the vacuum's not that loud and I have to do it.
Yeah.
I have to have the clean floor and the
It's
clean
funny
kitchen.
because as we were washing our baby's bottles last night and getting everything put in the sterilizer and whatnot, I even told Trent, I'm like, this nighttime routine, like, do you remember when it seemed chaotic and now we're just like going hard like champs?
Yeah.
Is the best.
We
Truly.
just had the same conversation in bed the other
Really?
night. I was like, it used to be 12, 1 in the morning, and now it's like 9 o'clock. I could go to bed. And like that leads me to another point of self care. It's like put yourself to bed early. Like just get in your nice.
I
cool
noticed
sheets.
you're not doing that.
No,
Yeah, you're not doing that.
Chelsea's texting us at like 11:30 at night. I'm like,
I'll get it the next morning.
I
She's like,
know.
sorry guys, it's late. It's like go to bed.
I know. And the funny thing is I've totally switched roles. I was always the one in bed really early. And now I don't know what it is. Well, first off, I get excited about editing this. I'm going to be honest. I do get excited around that. But I've also, side note, but I also try to prioritize time with Brandon
yeah.
because that's really the only time. I mean, when the kids are in bed and not knocking on your door and barreling in and doing all these things, you get that time with your spouse. And sometimes you just got to give up sleep. I don't know. I need to quit doing it this week. I'm running on fumes here.
Yeah. I used to be the night owl. I would stay awake for hours. I always was like, yeah, I'm an insomniac.
Yeah,
And Trent's like,
truly.
whatever. You just don't put your phone down. Ultimately, that's a problem. But now, as soon as we put Langston down, I'm going to bed. And it's funny because now that's when Trent wants to chat. I'm like, we were just in the living room together all evening. Like, why are you trying to talk to me now? I'm tired.
I'm tired. I need to go night-night. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, and then it comes down to making time for yourself. Like that's the only time you get. My problem is I need to make sure that I'm getting the kids into bed sooner. The boys aren't too bad because they're more self-sufficient. They're
Yeah.
fine if they stay up a little later. Evie, I have a really hard time, especially on baseball nights and all the chaotic moments of getting her in bed by. I would love realistically to have her in bed by 7:30. It's just not feasible right now. Because that's
We
when
aim for 8:30 at the latest with the baby. And the kids are always in bed between.
don't mind her.
8:30.
She's just a little crazy. That's Aspen.
I think with burnout, we just need to normalize that it's gonna happen. It doesn't mean like you're doing anything wrong.
No.
It's just heavy. Everything is just heavy. You're not broken, but it's a moment that putting yourself first for even 5 minutes, like
Yep.
you'll get there and you'll be successful at the end of it.
100%.
Yeah.
But some like little micro moments, like little short things that you can do. Go hide out in the bathroom for 5 minutes. That's
Yeah.
what I do.
Yeah.
Take my phone,
Truly.
go hide. That's my time.
I mean, dads do that when they're taking a poop for
Right.
45 minutes.
Go hide out in the pantry. Take a couple deep breaths.
Maybe a
I-
couple Snicker bars.
I don't know what happened yesterday, but my 7-year-old, we were talking about like,
Oh my
were
gosh, I thought
talking-
that was your dog, dude. It's the kids. You know what? You're going to have to get used to it. They're here. They're wandering around. Continue.
they don't listen where they need to be. We were talking about something, and my 7-year-old, talking about like stress and like parenthood in general, and like how it's like a lot. And my 7-year-old goes, "You just have to breathe. You just got to breathe." And I was like, "You're breathing, and sometimes you'll be upset and crying. Like you're breathing, but you're still upset." I'm like,
You know,
"That's how moms are."
I texted you the other day when they're at my house. I mean, that really sinks in with kids. He literally said in the car, "Moms are stressed." And I'm like, yeah, we are, buddy. We are.
Do you know what else you can do for some self-care?
What's that?
Listen to a podcast.
Ooh, nice promo. I like
Sorry,
that. I like that. This podcast, okay?
Yeah, if you haven't found one,
This one's the one.
Or just put on some jams when you're folding the laundry.
Oh my gosh, that's when I get really into cleaning. I think is when I just have the house to myself and I jam.
By yourself.
Jam out.
I was just telling Chelsea before we even started recording that I don't know if you were here yet. We were on our way home last night, and I had like this 90s song just stuck in my head, and I'm like, Josh, give me your phone. I got to turn on Spotify. And we jammed out to the 90s and like early 2000s the whole 40-minute drive home.
Oh my gosh,
It
I love
was
that.
just like,
That's the best.
it was the time of our life last night.
Oh my gosh, and I think that's just reminiscent from our childhood stage driving around because that's literally all we had to do in good old Purville,
Oh my
Missouri.
gosh. I don't know what you guys did, but figure 8 all through town.
all until you
Cruising.
run into somebody or until you find where the next party was.
We
all the
couldn't
good
afford
stuff.
that now.
No,
Gas?
oh my gosh, no. I remember when it was $1.89, I think.
Yeah.
When it was $20 to fill up my tank. Sign me up. Where's those gas prices?
Now
Why
I
did
wonder
we
what the
think
kids
that
are
was
doing.
fun?
I don't know.
I don't because that's all we had to do. What else were we supposed to do?
Mom, I need gas money.
Yeah, but like, what are they doing now?
I don't. That's a really good
Probably
question.
things we don't want to know.
We're not there yet.
I don't really want to.
We don't have teens.
Children are so hard. Like I've had my aunt and my brother-in-law offer to keep the kids for a week. They both live in different states, Texas and Florida. And although I know it would be really fun for them, I don't know, man. That's them being that far away from me.
Not
I just
having
don't
eyes
know
on
if I
them.
can have. I just I don't know.
I bet the boys would love Florida for the summer.
Oh, 100%. They love both places. There's stuff to do in
Shoot.
both places.
My brother-in-law, he's always like, you need someone to watch your baby?
Yeah.
We can watch your baby?
Yeah.
You want to leave the baby? I'm like, no, I'm good.
He's
No, I'm
trying to
fine.
get you to
To
take care of
have some
yourself
self-care.
so that you don't burn out.
Me and Trent time. I know.
I think
think-
your husband's for it. It's just she's not following her own advice.
Well, I mean,
It's tough. We'll circle
that's
back.
just
Let's
yeah.
just talk about it then. You do not have to do it all as mom, okay? The super
Yeah.
mom title, like, we don't have to be that.
Well,
It's
you do
kind
it
of
all
toxic to
anyways.
have that mindset, though.
Just because you're taking a few minutes, an hour to yourself doesn't mean you're still not super mom and that you're still not accomplishing literally everything.
Okay, two aspects. Super mom as in, like, we know you can do it all. We know you're super
yeah.
mom, but not as in, I have to do it all.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
You know,
Yep.
like, delegation is, like, a huge thing. The boys went to help dad mow and weed eat this morning and pick weeds. So I'm like, Lexi, you want to help, like, vacuum? You know, like, easy things that is age appropriate for them, I think,
Oh,
is
yeah.
a big thing that can help take off the workload.
And another thing, kids are more capable of doing things than you would think. Like there's no, and I think that was something that wasn't. We had chores. Don't get it twisted. We had a lot of chores and we had a lot of responsibility, especially with horses and stuff. But like with my boys, I don't have like all of the extra things like taking care of horses and stuff like that. But you know, I started a lot later with Bentley specifically on him having bigger chores because it didn't process in my head that they're way more capable of doing it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Like there's no reason that almost a 13-year-old can't do his own laundry. You know what I mean? You teach them and then it instills good habits in them when they get older.
I met our youngest are going to be 8 in August, and when I met them they were 5, and I was like, okay, we cannot do this pile of laundry on the laundry room floor. We cannot do like these unwashed dishes. So like I immediately started, as soon as we moved in together, every kid had their own basket, and like we've worked on putting clothes away in there. Dishes, like we'll load it and unload it together as a family after dinner time. Just like those little things that you can teach them and they're capable of doing.
Oh, 100%.
And then it's like you're setting them up for better
future,
future
more
for
success.
themselves. Yep.
Setting up to be either a good wife or a good husband. I mean, it really starts at home. And
Our oldest just started taking the dog out maybe like 6 months ago because like he's strong enough now.
Yeah.
And it's like just those little things help
oh
dramatically.
my gosh, that and then
I'm taking notes.
yeah, take notes for real. My gosh, I wish I would have started much sooner. But also too, there we go again. My mind just wandered. I don't know. Go on. I don't know what else. I had a good mind track, and then it kind of
Just
went away.
asking for help, like for the things that might feel uncomfortable. You know,
Yeah,
that's
it's
really
okay
gonna
to
help.
ask for help.
It's okay.
Oh yeah.
Like, don't feel bad.
It's not a big deal because most of the time you're not giving the kids like super hard jobs or like, quite frankly, an almost 13-year-old, and even Maverick will be 9 in January, so it's still a bit, but he's 8 and he's capable of doing a lot more things than they do. But at the end of the day, their chores, Probably 30 minutes, if that. So it's not like it's slave
we thought
driving
it was
here.
hard. Our parents gave us chore lists.
Yeah.
We thought it was hard at the time, and
It's not.
look
Or
at
just
us.
think of it like this too, like asking for help even when it feels uncomfortable helps you with your daily tasks, but also could help you with your self-care. Because like, let's say you're having like a burnout feeling moment. Evie goes to daycare, Ivy goes to daycare. You're stuck with the other two, and you don't quite want them to be home very long by themselves, but like they're capable of it if you just need to run to the store.
Right.
You know, because we have nanny cams, things like that, so you can talk and watch.
Right.
But if you need to be like, I really just need a moment at the salon by myself, like go get a massage, something like that,
Right.
even though spa days aren't the only way.
Right.
Shoot.
Or
You
just
can
go
always
for a walk or
message-
whatever.
Yeah, you can message us and be like, hey, will you take my 2 for half the day?
Yeah.
My kids would love that. It would help get them off of my
Yeah.
back.
That's
If
why the
I-
other day when the boys wanted to jump in, I'm
Yeah.
like, come on.
Yeah.
You
Because
guys can go play.
like that, even that, just allowing your kids to go to their friends' like house that we're friends of friends. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
then they're busy all day. Like, then they're not up my butt, you know? Like, it helps everybody.
And I
they're
think-
going to have fun.
Yeah, and I think a misconception with moms sometimes, at least in like my personal opinion, is that sometimes you don't ask your mom friends for help because you know they're on the verge of a burnout as well. But in reality, like you just said, like don't ever hesitate to ask me because that helps me with my kids. My
Yeah.
kids will go play. They'll go play longer. They'll have fun. They won't have, they won't be up my butt where I'm like, dude, please.
Yeah.
Go
Because
do
every
something.
day it's a question, what are we doing today? Are we doing anything fun? Where are
Yep.
we going?
Yep. What's
Where
the
are we
schedule look
going for
like?
dinner?
Yeah, and it's breakfast, and you're like, why are you?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
And me and Josh are always like, you guys live like very privileged lives.
Yes.
Like you're
Well-
very, like your life is different than what our lives were. And we are trying to set them up because we've been explaining like your lives after you move out of this house could be completely different.
Completely.
Depending on what you choose to do. And so we always try to have those realistic talks and things with them. And
Well, and going back to asking for help, like even ones like me who have a baby, like you said, ask for help even if it's uncomfortable. Sometimes I don't even have to ask, but like with a baby, I can't do like you guys and just connect our kids and run
Right.
around yet.
Yeah.
But I have a friend who just not long ago was like, bring Langston over. Like, we will help you. They are more than willing to help you,
Yes.
whether you ask for it or not. Like,
Yep.
it truly does take a tribe. And like, I've even realized that like, it's not an inconvenience. I think I'm inconveniencing, but even with a baby, I've noticed that.
Yeah.
so that explains how important community is and how like motherhood it takes a village. You're not alone.
Yeah.
You know, and isolation is what leads to like burnout. And so like when
And
you're
depression
with
and
everybody,
deep,
yeah,
dark
like that's
things,
another
yeah.
part of it we'll talk about in our series is PPD and anxiety. Like that's another thing we'll go into in another episode, but it's like isolating yourself, like especially in that newborn stage, can lead to that even further burnout, you know, later
Yeah.
on. So that's a big thing to lean into that village and to that community of people.
Yes. And I'm a cut. Y'all already know the drill. Okay, we'll be right back. And we're back.
A little bit more about like the importance of community is saying yes, like whenever your friends message you about doing things with your kiddos together. Because I know like the other morning I'm on the floor in the nursery playing with the 1-year-old, and I'm like, you know what? Let's go to the nature center today. Let's go like
Let's get out.
do something. Go to the park. Go to
Yes.
lunch. You know, let the kids play at Chick-fil-A. And so literally in like 15 minutes is all the notice I gave Chelsea, and I'm like, you want to get the kids together? You want to go?
Yep.
And
Yeah, I was
just-
so bummed I couldn't come.
I know.
I
I
know.
texted Courtney and I'm like, are you working?
Yeah, she's the actual adult out of all
I'm
of us.
hustling.
She's rolling in the dough.
Yeah, what though? Every day, like, we just need to remember to like reset.
Yeah.
Guilty free waking up, like reset a new you. I don't know like what your guys' morning routines are, but I like to have a
Chaos.
little.
I was just about to say chaos. Normally, Trent's gone by the time I do get up, so I am literally running across the house, getting
Yeah.
as much done as I can for myself, to then wait for Langston to get up and do all the things and get us ready, get out the door.
See, I always shoot to have that. I always shoot to
you have like a
that
time, the time that you like want to be out the door.
Yes. Well, that, and I always try to shoot for waking up earlier so I can spend time with myself and Jesus specifically. I
already
suck.
set my alarm for 5:45,
hard.
and that
Yeah.
just seems early to me. Props to the ones who get up for self-care more than that, but
And they say, I don't know if I hear this. I don't know if this is statistics or not, to be honest. I'm going off of what people say. I think it's like after a week, if you can do something for like 7 days or some kind of period of time, it will then become easier in a habit. It's literally like the first 3 to 4 days that are the absolute worst.
Ivy's been
Or maybe
getting
the
up
second,
an
third,
hour
fourth
earlier,
day.
and I will agree with that. It's been easier getting up now that it's been like a couple weeks of her doing this. Before, I'm like, what are we doing? I am not.
Please go to
I do
bed.
not like waking up super duper early, and now it's like, this isn't
Not
so bad.
bad.
This morning I already had 2 loads of laundry done.
See?
I had started another load. Like, I had folded them, 2 loads of laundry, started 2 more loads of laundry, got myself ready, like vacuumed the house, and it's like, this is kind of nice.
Yep.
If I could just do this every day, it'd be easy.
That's the intention, but
good thought.
it goes.
I think it's just like we need to give ourselves grace, especially. That's the only way we're going to get through burnout is giving ourselves grace, looking at the bigger picture, like what can we do, who can we ask, like what help can we give ourselves, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the little things, kind of like what you're saying. I said that you have hydration on here. Guys, as much as I would also love to count energy drink and coffee as hydration, it's not. It's not. Get you a big jug of water and really try hard to drink all of it by the end of the day. I love having drinks. I've noticed I'm a drinky person. Like, I'll have 5 different drinks and not worry about food. Give me a sparkling water. Give me an energy drink. Give me some... a bottle of water on the side,
Coffee.
And coffee. I love it all, but unfortunately, most of the things I drink are not hydrating.
Yeah.
And you can definitely tell the difference.
Yeah.
if
I
you're
would
not
always
hydrated.
leave with my coffee, my protein drink, and my jug of water. So I always had 3 drinks, and I'm like, man, I'm just like the drink lady.
Literally.
Yeah.
I know
Love
it's
drinks.
a mom thing. I know a lot of moms who have multiple cups and will just walk out with a handful.
And you have to make sure that your kids know which cups they can and cannot drink out of. Because even if you say, don't drink out of my water, they're going to drink out of your water. That's
Well,
just how
even
it
like
goes.
hydration, as in like anything H2O, any water. Go hop in your pool if you have one in the backyard.
That's true.
Go get in the shower, and that's going to the shower in the bathroom unattended. Like, lock that door, get the kids out, because I know kids like to just barge into the bathrooms. Any kind of, like, we call it our self-care toolbox. So, like, drinking water, just taking, those 5 minutes is super important. Reading
True.
the book, getting any kind of therapy or coaching or anything like that. Like, therapy's not bad.
Turn off your phone.
Oh my gosh,
off
that's a
the phone.
great one, dude.
Oh, say no.
Say no. That's hard. That's hard.
It's hard.
It is really hard. I'm a yes girl.
Yeah.
A lot of the times because I want to go do the things and I
Right.
want to have fun and I want to get our baby
Make
out
the
of the
memories.
house. Like, yes, I want to make all the memories. But sometimes I do catch myself being like, you know what? No. Like, my self-care might not be my own time.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's not getting myself ready, getting him ready, getting my husband ready, leaving the house. It's us being a potato on the couch.
Well,
100%.
and I mean, like, fine if that is like your care time is like going to connect like with your socials, at night for 20 minutes before you go to bed. Just unfollow the toxic accounts or like people who make you feel like you're questioning your own livelihood
True,
and abilities. I know I watched
That's
on
tough.
an episode the other day of a mom group, and like they just started out as a church group of women who went viral, but they're like, I feel like being lazy for 20 minutes, and like, I'm not going to knock you for feeling, lazy for 20 minutes.
Yeah, be lazy.
Yeah, like sometimes I just don't feel like I ever sit down, and that might be. I mean, in the morning I check my emails first thing in the morning because I cannot have notifications in my inbox, and it's just like that's my mental clarity,
Yeah.
So
I
just
let my email go a little bit.
unfollow the toxic and unfollow the
That's super.
people that want you to
I
make
agree.
you feel like you need to be like them, basically.
I agree. And Brandon actually taught me this because he dives deep into literally everything. But it's true. You probably should not be on your phone when you're in bed or going to bed, at least for, I think it's like 20 minutes or something, because the black light or whatever's in it literally keeps you awake, and it's harder to fall asleep.
We're guilty about that sometimes.
Oh, I'm terrible at it. Brandon will be
think
like,
so
dude,
many
get
women
off
are.
your phone.
And then when Trent does decide to go to sleep, I'm like, okay, and rolling over. And
yeah. But then you'll look and it's an hour later and you're like, wow, I could have been sleeping for
It
an
just
hour.
goes so
Yeah.
fast.
And then when I lay my phone down, I'm not tired. And you have to start the whole sleeping process all over again. It's terrible.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at that. Especially my iPad games.
The good thing is we'll no matter what, I think we all realize like our faults and things we can do better at.
Yeah.
And like we'll always work to be that better person.
Yeah.
I think if you don't have the will, then there's a little problem. Then we got something to work on.
Sometimes self-care is checking yourself, to be honest. Sometimes you do have to, like, again, I don't try to knock people, but at the same time, like some of these houses that I see on TikTok that are just, it's not messy. There's a big difference between being dirty and messy. My house is always messy, dude. There's toys everywhere.
It's lived in.
Yes. But dirty,
Like
that's
hoarder
just,
houses?
yes. Or like these parents that have went viral for like literally having crap on the floor or pee in the I mean, their houses are just disgusting. It's not fair to you. Okay, let's start there. It's not fair for you to be living in it, and it's surely not fair for your kids to be living in it. Yeah. So sometimes you do have to do the things you don't want to do, and that is part of self-care.
Yeah.
To a certain degree. You know what I mean? It's not always rainbows and butterflies.
Either way, whether you do something big, you do something small, use this as your sign to give yourself a little time.
Oh, yeah. And don't, if you have to start in one corner of your house, like literally just a certain corner, get it done and then go do something else.
Make a checklist. It's the bomb. It's the bomb when you get to cross it off.
And then when you do and you see an accomplishment, you're like, all right, let's go to the next
Can't
one.
wait to
You
do it
get,
again.
yes,
Yeah.
then you want to do it, but
Yeah.
it's the starting is really hard.
It is the starting. That's a good way to put it. The start is very hard. And I think like in closing, if we're ready to close this episode of our series, mom burnout isn't like, I have it here, isn't a definition, sorry, of a failing mom, but instead it's a failing system. So it could be like we're not doing our checklist appropriately. We're not holding ourselves accountable.
Yes. You don't have an accountability partner because that's important
Yeah, it's
too.
a big thing. We're not putting, like our health or our standards high enough because of that burnout feeling. It's just finding you again and then being able to prevent that burnout from occurring anymore and defining, our lives. You're not tired. You're not weak. You're just tired,
You're tired.
and that's a normal feeling. That's going to happen to every single one of us. But we are essential. Sorry, our dog's going crazy. We are essential in this, and our tone sets our household.
Yes.
So
Oh
I
my
think that's
gosh.
really
Yeah.
important.
And that's why it's really. Yes, Mav. You need a drink. Go in the fridge. Where's your water at?
In the pantry.
Real time.
Real time, people.
But anywho, in closing, we just want to thank you for watching our first episode this week on mental health and clarity and all things mom burnout. And we will be back next week.
As far as first episode of this series.
This series.
Yeah.
Yes, this series. But in the meantime, we are
Motherhood Unhinged.